Okay, so this is going to be a video about the struggling economy in the middle of the island once again and all the problems we're facing. Some things about Hicksville that I want to share with you in this video. I'm just kind of walking through Mineola while this is just a video. What it looks like when you get off the train at night at Mineola. And it's kind of dead, there's nothing really going on. We don't really have any nightlife here. All the nightlife goes to the South Shore. That's where all the investment goes. They get the good stuff, and we get ignored, and it's really hurting our communities. And, something needs to be done about it, because here's the thing. The South Shore, and it's part of the reason why I don't really want to go back to the South Shore. Even the other video, I was like, well, things got really bad. But here's the thing. The South Shore is going to flood one of these days. It's just a matter of time. They're really just one major hurricane away from a flood. And I don't want to be subject to the forces of Mother Nature. She's very powerful. Floods are nothing to fool around with. And Bellmore will flood, Merrick will flood, all those towns, those hop-in towns will flood. Rockville Center, they will all flood, but yet the investment goes there, and yet we have nothing but more or less emptiness here at night. And this isn't even that late at night. This is probably, I would say, maybe 8 o'clock or so. Not that late at all. But it's dead. It's dead. It's dark. It's dead. Isn't this a familiar refrain? When I was living in Westbury, I took similar videos to show you how dead it was. At least here, however, there aren't gangs hanging around. There are a couple of bums on the train station, but you didn't see any gangs or anything like that. But the problem is, and I apologize for this video, I am walking fast, but the thing here is I want to talk about how this is affecting our areas. And I'm going to go over some flooding models to show you how stupid this is. We have so much vacancy in our town. So many of the places that are going into Bellmore and Merrick and Rockville Center and Patchogue and Babylon and all these other trendy South Shore towns, they're going to get flooded out. And then what's going to happen? Why aren't they coming to Mineola? What's wrong with Mineola? We are the county seat. We are the hub. So is Hicksville. We have some of the busiest train stations around. This is the heart of Long Island. We shouldn't be being neglected like this just because of demographics, and that seems to be exactly what's going on. And it's really stupid. So now I'm going to show you some video from Hicksville of what's going on with how bad it is with the housing market in Hicksville. It's really bad. All right, I want to show you something here. These houses have been for sale for over 6 months already. I just want to show you Hicksville, how bad Hicksville's struggling. This house has been for sale for an extremely long time. 6 months, all right? You wouldn't see this happen in Bellmore or on the South Shore, but this is what's going on. This is what I mean about redlining. So, there's garbage in the tree there. And then this house here, they tried selling it. And nobody's bought it, so now somebody else has got it, and they're trying to rent it now. So it's the sign of a struggling neighborhood when you see that. It doesn't appear that there's anything wrong with these houses, but people see the problems here and they don't want to come here. And this is what's going on. You can see all the trash here. It's a familiar theme when you're in the middle of the island, that you're going to see trash. And the problem with house rentals is that people rent a house, it's generally not going to be taken care of as well. And there'll probably be more. It'll probably become a flop house. It's such a shame what's going on here, all because it's not lily white. Nobody wants to invest here. It's unbelievable. It's ridiculous. It's all part of the neglect. They only want to live with their own kind, These white finance professionals, That's it, They see a few Indian people. No, we're not going to move in. There's nothing wrong with Indian people, and the women are beautiful. All right, say it over and over again. Another house for sale here. So here you go. This is what you get here in Hicksville. Just one house for sale after another. Just because this area is just being neglected, Meanwhile, in Wantaw, house goes for sale. Look at this cute little house. Nice house. House goes for sale in in Wantor. The first day or the second day, it sold. It's just discrimination. It's discrimination is what it is. Look at all this trash here too. Because they just want to ruin this area. They don't want to invest here, they want to ruin it and turn it into the hood. Just because it's not lily white. That's what they're doing. Look at all the trash here too. Horrible. Look at all this. You don't see this in Wantor or Bellmore. Nope. It's okay here though, right? Oh, we got graffiti too. Look at this. That's all I got. That's what's happening. Turning it into a hood. That's why we gotta fight back. We gotta talk about it. Alright, I figured I'd update you on this the Boulder Creek here as well. Doesn't look like much has changed, but I'll walk through and show you that there's another vacancy here. I don't think it's coming back. I'll tell you why when we get to take a closer look at it. Maybe it is, but I don't see much work being done in here. Let's see, there's still tons of stuff in here. Look at this. I don't know if you can see that, but there's just tons of stuff in there. And the sign just says closed for renovations. And it's a very sloppy looking sign, not even printed. So it just leads me to believe what's happened here is that this place has gone out of business. The landlord has taken possession of this property. I don't know who owns this property, but they probably don't. Their menu is still here and everything like that. But as with a lot of places, they just close up and then that's it, they're gone. And that's exactly what happened here. They just kind of fled for their lives, I guess, when they saw what was happening in the neighborhood. They just left, you know. They just got up and left. So, that's what it is. So, closed for renovations, but I don't see any renovations going on. What I do see is a sign of a place being cleaned out. And so they're just cleaning out all the stuff. The landlord is cleaning out. Is this open? This door just moved. Alright, no. But, it's just the wind, I guess. But what I see is a sign of a place that is, there's a sign of a place here that is being cleaned out. So this is a place that's being cleaned out. It's not being renovated. Why would they be getting rid of that stuff? Sooner or later, this is going to become a hangout for the bums if they're not hanging out here already. They will be shortly. Because unlike Sears, there is no security over here. So they will be hanging out. And it's just going to fall into disrepair. And it's a shame. It's a shame. It really is. You can see it's just... there's all the stuff they're getting rid of here. So, I mean, to me, this doesn't look much like a renovation. It looks more like a clean out. Could be wrong, but I mean, it's just very odd that they would close so abruptly without letting people know what they were doing. To me, that's a sign of a business that's in trouble, that's on its way out. And I think the landlord is taking possession of this and is just cleaning the stuff out, probably. Maybe it's going to get auctioned, I don't know. But, you know, considering what's going on in the area, it wouldn't surprise me that this place is most likely out of business. Their landscaping hadn't looked good for a while, so... it's a shame, it did well, but this neighborhood is just being targeted for destruction. Look at all this trash here. We're by the train station. I mean, this is one of the busiest stations on Long Island, and you would think this pizza box, you would think that it would be taking care of this area, but yet it's suffering. Look, there's a TV over there. Broken TV there. They left this stuff here. What's this? Oh, this bus. That's where the bums hang out. They always hang out in here. Bums hang out in there. You know it's bad when a florist, they can't even, this is abandoned as well. This is abandoned. And it's going to be for quite some time. So this whole area needs to be redeveloped. I think they need to build a parking garage here. I think they need to build some, maybe some apartments, like a little downtown thing here. You know, they're not doing that. Abandoned. That's what you get here at Hicksville. Lots of space available in that building over there too. That building's space available. There's always a vacancy in that building over there. There's vacancy everywhere here. Lots of it. Here we have one of the, actually we have the busiest train station on Long Island, and you have all this vacancy. Does that make any sense to you? Doesn't to me. Look at this too, a pole came down, they never fixed it. And they won't. Just left the wiring like that. I don't care about this area. Because it's not, you know, homogenous white finance professionals, so they don't care. Bomb right there. That's one of the bombs right there. So this just looks so Spartan. Is expected to arrive 30 again. In approximately 3 minutes. It's interesting how Massapequa and Montauk never look like this. Their platform never looks like this. It's clean, but not here. It's always dirty. There are help points that are still wrapped up. Again, look at the waiting room here. See, we don't get the tiles on the floor. We don't get the nice tables and charging ports. We don't get any of that. It's very bare bones. And again, compared to Bellmore, this is what Bellmore looks like. See, they got a floor that's got tile on it, tile on the walls, tables, much warmer, much more welcoming. And of course they're happy. They're happy, and of course they're going to rub it in our faces that they've got everything, and we're pretty much treated like dirt. You don't get any of that because it's not demographic. I mean, why isn't this ready? Why isn't this operational? It's never going to be there. Maybe they're going to take them away. We have more bumps at the station again today. Usual inhabitants. That one and that one. Yep, the door is already broken at the Hicksville waiting room, believe it or not. Yep, I saw that today. Door out of service. Please use other door. You know, it's pathetic. It really is, but it shows you the quality at Hicksville. It's shoddy, it's cheap, and it's not going to last. The station will need to be renovated in probably a couple more years. We don't have our help points. There's smashed glass over there. You could see that hasn't been fixed yet. We see the duct tape over there. The station looks like it's just been completely forgotten and it's done half-assed. Meanwhile, on the South Shore, they get all the good stuff. They get all the gold treatment. They get the tiles. They get beautiful waiting rooms that look like hotels just because they're lily white finance professionals that work on Wall Street. And this is what they want to do. They want to make our lives miserable. Either they can price us out or they can make our town so miserable to live in that we leave because they want to exile us to New Jersey. That's what they want to do. People like me, the middle class, the seniors, they want us exiled. You know what? We're not going anywhere. We're going to fight. I refuse to have to live in New Jersey. You know, it's sad that our towns are neglected in the middle of the island with vacancies, while their towns. This is the Merrick Station from Matt's station tour. It's beautiful. It's a palace. But here's the thing: it's going to be underwater sometime in the next 20 years because of climate change and because of hurricanes. Those beautiful downtowns, those stores on the bustling downtown at Bellmore, yep, they're going to be underwater too. All right, and it's all due to climate change, and eventually we will be getting another hurricane. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And here's your flood map here, and you can see all those South Shore towns are going to be affected by flooding, either from a hurricane or sea level rise. Yet they want to continue to invest there because they see nothing but people. Well, we only want to be with our own kind. We only want to invest with our own kind. So we're only going to go into these areas. They don't care if all their investment is literally going to get washed away. They don't care. These people, they're snobby, they're arrogant, but they're also extremely dumb. They're probably the same kind of people who don't believe in global warming and climate change. They're extremely dumb, and they're going to lose a lot of money. And I don't feel sorry for them. They weren't, they're more worried about being with their own kind. Guess what? Guess what? You're white finance professionals. Whites are no longer going to be the majority of people in this country fairly soon. All right, you're going to have to accept that. All right, you're going to have to accept that one way or another. All right, because America is changing, New York is changing. You can't live with your own kind anymore. That has to stop. We can't do this anymore. It's not practical, it's not sustainable, and it's certainly not legal. Segregation, racism, redlining, all this stuff is illegal. Yet it's going on because the government is failing to do its job and enforce the laws because the government is corrupted by Wall Street and the banks and real estate. They're all in on this together to try to ruin Long Island. And it's so stupid because they're only going to hurt themselves when that next hurricane comes, when the climate change comes. I don't care how much money they have. Mother Nature is the most powerful thing, and we've altered the atmosphere in such a way that we're having stronger hurricanes, sea level rise. All these things are going to be bad news for the South Shore. So if I was somebody who was investing, I certainly would put my money in the middle of the island and stop worrying about a few people who look different than you, because this nonsense has got to stop one way or another. And I had to bring it up again and I will bring it up from time to time, because I think it needs to be spoken about. Here we have Long Island, a tight housing market. People have trouble finding houses, and yet here we have houses sitting empty for months and months and months in the middle of the island, just because the real estate doesn't want people to move there. It's absolutely crazy. This kind of stuff has to stop. Meanwhile, you go to Wandsor, and they are just going nuts. They're bidding wars. They get nasty, trying to live in Wandsor to be one of the so-called lucky ones. This nonsense has got to stop. I'm sorry, but it's got to stop. And I'm going to keep talking about it from time to time because it's absolutely outrageous. And no, even though I said in the other video, yeah, maybe it gets really bad. No, I don't want to ever go back to the South Shore. All right, it's further from the Pine Barrens, and it's going to flood. It's going to flood one way or another, and I don't want to have to deal with that kind of trauma of having to live through a town getting flooded and seeing your town get flooded. It's horrible, and there are lots of people all over the country and all over the world that are experiencing flooding due to climate change, and it's a horrible thing. It really is. Climate change is real, and I certainly respect that a lot more than what Wall Street thinks. And I just want to make one more addendum before I wrap up this video. Actually, I realized I've got one more thing I just want to say, and that is, they're trying to intimidate and belittle Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, over her stance against Wall Street and the fact that she realizes we are in a climate emergency. They're constantly making fun of her, and it's ridiculous and it's sad, and we know why it's happening. I don't know why anyone could make fun of that one. She is not only extremely beautiful, but she's also very intelligent. Two things that turn me on quite a bit. So I don't understand it, but that's what it is. As far as why don't you look at white girls? Look, I look at all kinds of girls, but here's the thing: I find that a lot of white girls, not all, but a lot have a tendency to be very arrogant, stuck up, and very snobby. All right, it just seems to be that way. They have that preppy way of acting. And other girls from other cultures are more open-minded. They generally tend to be sweeter, and so I think I'd have more luck looking there. But I still haven't found romance yet, but hopefully soon. I'm tired of being alone. Anyway, yeah, that's going to end this video. All right, take it easy.